All of this, well, they're also telling us that we should really be afraid of public enemy number one, Vladimir Putin, who continues to terrorize the planet with moves like this. Here he is. Last week, Putin signed a bill that bans sex reassignment surgeries and medical interventions associated with transitioning in Russia. The evil, bad, scary, horrible monster Putin said he is seriously concerned. And they asked him why he's doing this. He said because he's seriously concerned about what he calls the, quote, Western transgender industry, which has promoted an increased number of gender reassignment surgeries here in the States by 50 times over the past 10 years. He calls this a path leading to the degradation of any nation. And he says that Russia doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday, October 21st, claimed that it is monstrous that Western children are taught that they can change their gender. Speaking in Sochi, Putin said it is close to a crime against humanity.
Was he wrong? Here's the thing, friends. We've gone over this Russia-Ukraine thing for a long time. Ukraine is obviously losing this war, as we knew they would. The only reason they're still hanging in there is because of this senile fool, Joe Biden, and his friends at Davos, his globalist friends, are propping this little Zelensky guy up. Everybody knows that. That's what's happening. I think they're worried right now Zelensky is going to cut a deal with Putin if this goes on much longer. I mean, and that's an entirely realistic possibility in my opinion. But in any case, if you still think this is all about, saving Ukraine and all of that, if you're afraid of Russia, I would recommend that you stop supporting war with Russia in Ukraine, Biden's war. Because right now, let's face it, the U.S., just like Ukraine, is no match for Russia on any level. Think about it. We are in a moral and spiritual freefall in this country. Well, Russia seems to be recalling the very stuff for which, historically speaking, people have always been willing to die. We've shown you this. There's a lot of propaganda films coming out now showing us what the notion is, what Putin has as an ideal for Russia that he thinks is going to work. I think we showed you this one last year, but I want to point something out. Take a look at this film. Now, we showed this when we first weighed in on the Ukraine thing, and I think we've been fully vindicated. I'm not going to rub it in people's face, but obviously there are very few serious people who think at this point that we should be supporting Biden's run-up to World War III now with Russia. But if you look at that, you caught that, right? This is probably a propaganda film, right, that Putin is responsible for. And how does it start out? Svyati Božja, Svyati Kripki, Svyati Besmertny. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, sung by a beautiful young Russian lady. Now this comes straight from the Russian Orthodox liturgy. I need you to ask yourself, why would that be? How could that be a serious problem for us here in the States, that they're using the equivalent almost of the Kyrie in the Latin rite to promote Russia? Can you imagine them doing that here in the United States of America? And I know some of you are going to say, yeah, well, that's Russian propaganda, man. Stop falling for it. Okay, fine. It probably is. Looks like propaganda to me, straight out. But here's the question. Propaganda for whom? Who's this appealing to? Who's this seducing? Americans? Are you kidding me? We don't identify with that anymore. We don't identify with Holy God, Holy Immortal One. We don't have any idea what that even is. This is America.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. Begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms. Eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.